I tell you, most places where there's tourist spots, generally things are quite expensive, London being an example.
Very expensive.
But this place, Corno, literally right next to the Trevi Fountain over there, $3.50.
$3.50 for tuna?
For a ciabatta, ham, mozzarella, can't really beat it. $3.50. I'm going to heat it up for you. I've just had my $3.50 ham and mozzarella sandwich, but I'm salivating at the thought of these oysters. Beautiful oysters. I mean, Rome is a place to come on exceptional food. No time to eat right now.
Maybe you ate, but you didn't have lunch.
No time. Just got to swallow what I've just eaten. Get the remains out of my teeth. I'm going to take in all of these beautiful streets of Rome.
Well, once again, thank you for joining me in another one of my little adventures. I am the Wandering Englishman, and I am also known as Alex. In today's video, we're going to be walking between the Trevi Fountain, which you saw right at the beginning of this video, and we're going to be walking to the Spanish Steps. Now, if you missed my little adventure getting to the Trevi Fountain, you can go back and watch that video. It is available here. But I urge you, as you're here already, you may as well watch this video until the end, and if you like it, go back to my previous video. It's not like a movie or a TV series where you might need to find out what happened in part 1 or part 2. It really isn't necessary, so I'm really thankful for you joining me today.
What we witness here, and strangely lacking in crowds, is the column of Marcus Aurelius. I mean, what is noticeable is, despite its beautiful location and the detail that you probably really can't see with this camera, the detail of this column, it basically depicts all of the victories that Marcus Aurelius brought to the nation, brought to the Roman Empire.
And what would you believe?
They fought for you. And for Rome.
Marcus Aurelius, born in 121 AD, died in 180 AD. Probably one of the greatest Stoic philosophers ever. The writings of Marcus Aurelius are still read today. I have friends that have recently bought his book on recommendations. The book is in the description if you're curious. I mean, he is one of the greatest ever leaders. He lived to an age of, I think, 58 years old, and anything to do with Marcus Aurelius I'm a big fan of, and seeing this is just immense.
The column was erected in the heart of the city in 193 AD. This imposing column stands at approximately 100 feet tall and is a magnificent example of Roman arts and engineering. The column is adorned with intricate bas-relief carvings that wind their way up the shaft, depicting various scenes from Marcus Aurelius's military campaigns in what is known as the Marcomannic Wars. These carvings provide invaluable insights into the life and accomplishments of this incredibly great man. Marcus Aurelius is often referred to as the philosopher emperor. As I mentioned, he was a Stoic philosopher who ruled the Roman Empire from 161 to 180 AD. He is celebrated not only for his intellectual pursuits, but also for his achievements as a statesman and military leader. During his reign, he faced numerous challenges, including external threats to the empire, which he adeptly managed through his military campaigns. His leadership and strategy prowess are exemplified in the reliefs of the column, which depict scenes of battle, negotiations with barbarian tribes, and other key events of his reign. But it is behind his military accomplishments that, at least myself and many others, we are so fond of Marcus Aurelius. For it is his philosophical work, particularly his book Meditations, which offers profound insights into Stoicism and the human condition. His commitment to moral and ethical principles has left a lasting impact on myself and also Western philosophy. The Marcus Aurelius column, with its intricate carvings and historical significance, stands as a testament to the enduring legacy of this great man and his multifaceted achievements as both a ruler and a philosopher.
If I was VIP, I'd be like these guys, get past the police and give you a better view. It's a real shame that this is kind of closed off to the public, right behind the state government office, and there's the reason the police are here, and I think there's the reason the television crew are over here. There's a crowd of reporters on the far end, probably trying to question the Prime Minister of Italy. They're all over there, making a bit of a noise, I think. If any leader could emulate this leader and be as patient and be as victorious as this leader, the world would be a fine place. One of the things, and I'm not going to say this word for word, Marcus teaches you not to get frustrated with those around you because they haven't been through the same experiences as you have, and just sort of detach yourself from that. I try to remember that anytime I'm finding myself frustrated with anyone. I think of Marcus, and I think actually not everyone has experienced what I have or what you have, and we can't all know, we don't have the same experiences to sort of deal with this moment as well.
It has to be noted that the statue on top of the column has been replaced by St. Paul the Apostle, and the original statue has since gone missing. Who knows where it has ended up? Anyway, let's see what else we can see on our little walk today.
Wow. It's actually a road that is open, but the people have taken over. It's that busy full of people. The dog parade. The little French bulldog, tiny in comparison. Loving it. Obviously, any European city you can get around on the scooters, the bird scooters, you can get around on the dot bikes. You get these in pretty much every European nation. Interesting concepts. I've not seen that before, where people are shipping in sand to the street to sort of create things. Normally you see that on beaches. They bring a bag of sand and they make little dogs. We saw those dogs back there. I don't know if it's some sort of special dog day in Rome, but every day is a dog day, I think. I think what you find is people from all over the world. Chinese now love their dogs. Loving dogs rather than eating dogs.
Man's best friend and all. Woman's too.
Wow. Look at this. We've got some modern art here with some more street performers. I don't know what this modern art is. It's probably not. That's that noise. Trying to avoid the copyright strike. Anytime you hear modern music, generally more than 10 seconds you get striked, video gets taken down, or you get demonetized. So we have to avoid the copyright strikes. I think it's just nice to sort of take in the atmosphere a little bit, rather than having me waffling on. Everyone's got a bit of talent around here, haven't they? Taxi driver doesn't care. This is kind of like the shopping streets of Rome. I had an American tourist back there just before I was at the Marcus Aurelius statue asking me, is this your first day in Rome? I go, yes. How did you guess? I go, well, instead of going to see all the museums and the art galleries, I'm thinking in my head, they're going to go see the Versace store, which is a real shame. Should we go and pop our heads into this place? Let's do it. And then we're going to continue on this later. Let's do this.
This is the Basilica of St. Ambrose and St. Charles on the very notable Corso Street which we've been walking down. It is of course a Roman Catholic church, as it's obviously in the heart of Rome. As you can see, it's renowned for its beautiful Baroque architecture and rich history. Construction on the basilica began in the late 17th century and was finally completed in the 18th century. It was designed by various architects over the years, including Carlo Fontana and Pietro da Cortona. I have to say I love these Italian names. It's just a reason just to say these names, but I hope I'm not brutalizing them. I have to say I was blown away by the stunning frescoes and the marble altars that we can see inside. As you can see, this is not just a place of worship, but a significant cultural and historical landmark in the centre of Rome. It attracts both religious pilgrims, tourists like myself, and those just wanting to see the beauty of this magnificent church right in the heart of the Eternal City.
What an immensely beautiful church. The Basilica del Ambrogio al Carlo. Truly, truly impressive. When we continue down here. What you've always got to do anytime you're walking around any European city is look up, look at the details of the shutters, look at the details of the balconies. Imagine how the local population lives, imagine how their day-to-day is. Until we get to the next point of interest, I think we'll cut it there. But nice rolling shot there.
We find ourselves in yet another church, but rightly so. This is San Giacomo in Augusta. We are still on the Via del Corso. I mean, this place is a captivating blend of faith, history and artistic beauty. Of course, it's a Roman Catholic church dedicated to St. James the Greater, and it invites visitors to step into a world where the past gracefully harmonizes with the present. The name San Giacomo in Augusta hints at the intriguing stories concealed within the walls. The church's history traces its roots to the medieval era, with each stone and fresco a silent witness to the passage of time. It has endured the ebb and flow of history, undergoing meticulous renovations while preserving its Romanesque allure. On days it could have a somber atmosphere, but also on days it would have an atmosphere that comes alive, aided by the enchanting frescoes. The frescoes and sculptures narrate the biblical stories and celebrate the life of St. James being one of the 12 apostles of Jesus Christ. One of the most remarkable features of this church is the stunning dome above us. Now, depending on the time of day you'll hear, this will bathe the interior with a warm celestial light. Like all the churches in Rome, I'm greatly impressed by this one.
Just every little church turns into a big church, and phenomenal. There's another one here. Should we check it out? Let's do it. Buongiorno.
Another church, but the last one of today, I promise. This is the Church of Jesus and Mary, and it dates back to the early 17th century when it was constructed on a piece of land which was once part of a villa of a garden owned by Antonio Orsini, nephew of Cardinal Flavio Orsini. Now, the barefoot Augustinians purchased the land and the buildings in 1615 with the intention of establishing their Roman headquarters and a seminary for training seminarians. In 1675, the church was solemnly consecrated. Further interior decoration and marble cladding were carried out between 1678 and 1690. Today, the church is known for hosting a Tridentine Mass, and it's managed by the Institute of Christ the King, Supreme Priest. So I've noticed a trend here in Italy. They don't use the real candles anymore. They have electronic candles. And there was a picture of John Paul II there, so I thought it was appropriate to put a coin in, say a small prayer for my nan. She was very fond of that pope, probably the last great pope we've ever had. The others have been very dubious. The current one, oh dear. We still continue along this road and get to another obelisk, another one with the cross on it. This is a theme in Rome, and it marks an intersection. When we get to this intersection of the Piazza, obviously take it in, but then we're going to turn off and we're going to head in the direction, I think, of the Spanish Steps. The Museum of Leonardo da Vinci this way. There's a lot of Leonardo da Vinci museums around the world, but why not? Even the airport I flew into, Rome, Fiumicino, I think is also called Leonardo da Vinci Airport. I prefer that name, it's easier to pronounce. Look at this is immense. It really is immense. Rome is just one of these cities that just, to be Italian, to have this as your city.
I should have come back to Italy years ago.
Truly exceptional. Europe has always been exceptional. Don't let them tell you otherwise. Wow. We now find ourselves in the northern entrance of Rome's historic centre. This captivating square is the Piazza del Popolo. It translates to People's Square. Now thankfully this is no communist People's Square, this is Rome's People's Square. It's been a gathering place for locals and travellers alike for centuries. One of the most interesting features of the piazza is the unique trapezoidal layout, which was designed by the renowned architect Gian-Lorenzo Bernini in the 17th century. The twin churches, the Santa Marina Delle Muratte and the Santa Marina in Monti Santo, is located at the entrance of the square. These frame the view of the obelisk and create a sense of balance and harmony. This square has been a backdrop for countless historical events, celebrations, cultural gatherings throughout the centuries, making it truly wonderful just to be standing here at this minute in time. Our old friend over there, Poseidon, mixing in with the Egyptian gods, mixing in with the Roman gods. It's a medley. And then on top of it all, the Christian representation of God with the Christian cross. There's a real medley here. The obelisk, known as the Flaminio Obelisk, which was originally created in the city of Heliopolis, now known as Cairo, during the reign of Pharaoh Seti I, 13th century BC. It's made of red granite and it's approximately 24 meters tall, making it one of the tallest obelisks in Rome. The obelisk was brought to Rome by the Roman Emperor Augustus in 10 BC, and it was originally erected in the Circus Maximus, which was a large chariot racing stadium. It was initially dedicated to the Egyptian god Ra, as was customary for obelisks of the time. In 1589, during the Renaissance period, the Flaminio Obelisk was re-erected in the piazza under the orders of Pope Sixtus V. Just to give you a better view of this, another church on the edge of this square. Really remarkable, this city. And then we're going to go into this little oasis, if I can get there. These steps have been blocked. I'm going to try and go into this little oasis before wrapping round and then sort of coming round to the Spanish Steps, which is probably about half a mile away, but because of the way I'm going to walk at least a mile and a half before I get there. Phenomenal city. Finally got myself into this little park. Not such a little park, because it goes up and a long way. Take it in. Taking a bit of nature in this immense city. Having just walked up the steps, up this sort of steep hill, amongst the sort of random statues, some old, some maybe less old, we get to this sort of terrace. And when we get to this terrace, we will have this amazing viewing platform to sort of look on the magnificent city of Rome. From this elevated vantage point, we can see the Piazza del Popolo, which we've just been in, and as we stand at this iconic point, we can see the city in front of us unfolding in all of its grandeur. To the south, we can see the iconic dome of St. Peter's Basilica. It rises majestically on the horizon, a symbol of the Vatican City's spiritual significance in this part of the world.
What I love most about this park are these trees. You see these trees over here. They are exceptional. If you are a Roman, you would probably be spending much of your weekend taking in the park. Now, it's such a beautiful day for doing that, but I don't really want to sort of looking out trying to spot the parrots.
Those parrots talk about everything, politics, movies, fashion.
It's a very worn out park, but it gives that sort of rustic feel. Some of the statues are missing noses, some of the statues are sort of missing arms and just looking a little bit worse for wear. But it is a beautiful, beautiful park, and if you want to, you can ride for an hour on a bike for 12 euros. With these guys, you can hear the sound of the parrots. There's a lot of parrots around. I don't know what, I can't see them. This camera won't be able to pick them up. But we're going to continue onwards. It doesn't really get any better than this. You can come to Rome in July or August or September and you'd be sweating, you'd be stifled. The only reason I'm going to be sweating today is because I've got 2 jackets on. I just know over there's probably another beautiful church behind those walls, or in those walls. That is a beautiful church, I'm sure. There's only so many hours in the day. If I devoted all of the hours in the day to all of the churches, I wouldn't even see all of the churches in Rome.
There will be other opportunities.
The overflowing trash can over there reminded me that Rome is not without its problems. When I arrived last night at the central station, every 10 meters there were, or probably every 5 meters, there were homeless people, some in boxes, some with sleeping bags, just all over the place. You'll notice the height we're up. There's one way to get down from this height. To get down, it is quite special actually. We're not going to go into the underpass. We're going to go this way.
We are almost at our final destination. We are literally now perched at the summit of the Spanish Steps. Right in front of us, you can see another ancient Roman obelisk. However, this one is far newer than the last one we saw. This one dates back to the 2nd or 3rd century and stands in front of the church of Trinità dei Monti. It was carved from red granite and towers some 14 meters. It is a smaller copy of the Flaminio Obelisk of Ramses II. It's decorated with hieroglyphics. It mimics those of the obelisk we just saw, although with some massive inaccuracies. This obelisk's journey through history is as fascinating as its design. Originally situated in the gardens of Sallustiano, it survived the devastations of 410 AD before being erected at its current location in 1789 by Pope Pius VI.
Another magnificent church overlooks the Spanish Steps. Let's go and check out the Spanish Steps, shall we?
Now, as we turn from the obelisk, we gaze upon the majestic Spanish Steps. These steps are a masterwork of Baroque architecture. They were constructed between 1723 and 1725. Contrary to their name, the steps were funded by a French diplomat and designed by an Italian Francesco de Sanctis. They span 135 steps, descending gracefully from the church to the vibrant Piazza di Spagna. These steps are not just a passage, but a symbol of European artistic and diplomatic collaboration, harmonizing French and Papal influences in their design. The only reason these steps are called the Spanish Steps is because of their close proximity to the Spanish embassy, to the Holy See, which is located at the base of the square. Piazza di Spagna, also known as Spanish Square. The name of these steps derives from the association with the embassy, rather than being directly linked to Spain or any Spanish architecture. Halfway down, we can immerse ourselves in the steps' cultural tapestry. In the 18th and 19th centuries, they were a nexus of artistic and bohemian life in Rome, drawing poets, artists, and the fashionable elite. The steps have been immortalized in various artworks and films, including the iconic Roman Holiday. This enduring allure of the steps as a space for creativity and beauty is palpable even today as we make our way through the throngs of visitors and artists.
Look at this, even the drains in Rome are beautiful. Down here we have a beautiful drain.
As we approach the lower reaches of the Spanish Steps, the Piazza di Spagna unfolds before us, teeming with life and history. Here the steps transform from the monumental structure into a vibrant social arena. To our right is the house where the English romantic poet John Keats spent his final days, now a museum celebrating his and other poets' works. This area is a confluence of art, history, and urban charm.
So many people have walked on these steps over the years. The steps are slightly slanted, so because of the stone has been rubbed so many times by people sitting, the steps are slanting. One of the number of reasons people come to Rome. It's truly beautiful.
As we step off the last of the Spanish steps into the Piazza di Spagna, the journey is complete, but the experience is far from over. The Fontana della Barcaccia, a masterpiece by Pietro Bernini, greets us with its gentle waters. This piazza, with its cafes, flower sellers, and the constant hum of Rome, encapsulates the spirit of the Spanish Steps, a place where architecture, history, and vibrancy of life intersects in a beautiful, ever-evolving tableau.
I mean, to be honest, there is no angle you can probably ever get unless you come here during COVID, which I know one of my friends did. Scott was here during COVID. He claimed the steps were basically empty. The alternative is you rock up at 5 o'clock in the morning. You'll be lucky, sometimes there'll be nobody here, and also coming home late at night, 2, 3 in the morning maybe, you'll be lucky. Nobody will be here. You hope for a full moon and you might get a good picture. But most of the time, this place is absolutely rammed. And rightly so, because it's already one, it's a nice place to hang out, and two, it's a beautiful place to take you.
La mia bella fornarina al balcone non c'è più, lungo vedere dorme mentre il fiume cammina, io lo seguo perché mi trascina con sé e travolge il mio cuore.